Pictures only begin to tell the story of how the devastating Missouri River floods of 2019 impacted Hamburg. 5 years later, the community is experiencing a renaissance of sorts with new businesses, new housing, and a new levee. One of the many new businesses that has opened since the flood recovery began is the Hamburg Inn and Suites. It's located on Main Street right next, of course, to Hamburg City Hall, and it's just one of the symbols of a community trying to rebound and recover from the devastating floods of 2019. One way to check out Hamburg's recovery is to take a drive through the community. As our tour guide, Hamburg City Councilman Mike Stensel points out some of the business growth that's aiding economic recovery along the main street.
Of course, we have the Colonial Theater. It's always been there.
Right.
And then along this side of the street, we have some fairly new businesses. Of course, then we have Stoner Drug on this side with their soda fountain, and then the Awesome Possum, and then our brand new meat locker down here, which is a really big asset to the community.
Along with new businesses, Hamburg Mayor Harry Adams credits the city's existing industries for sparking the economic rebound.
The fact that we had solid industry here to begin with played a big role, and that gave people confidence and courage, and of course the pride in the community is always a big factor, as it was here.
Another of Hamburg's goals is to replenish its dilapidated housing stock. You can still see signs of the devastations of the flood of 2019. We're in an area south of Hamburg right now. This is a house where people used to live in, but people have long since moved out and abandoned. And you will see signs of the floods here. You can tell this house is gone, devastated, and a lasting reminder of the devastation that hit this community 5 years ago. To address those issues, Adams points to two major housing developments.
This area, there's a 24-unit affordable housing complex that's being completely refreshed, and it will be available for rent in the very near future. And at the north end of town, adjacent to the hospital, is a 33-house new development area that is scheduled to become for sale the early part of 2025.
Now, in order to protect the city from future flooding, ground was broken a few years later on an expanded Ditch 6 levee.
The new levee, however, is considered a gold standard by most, even eastern Iowa, because it's new, it's robust, and it's at 919 feet. It's 2 feet higher than the previous one, but considered to be fully up to Corps of Engineer requirements and to be more sturdy and such.
Despite the new levee, Hamburg City Councilman Mike Stensel was asked whether enough improvements have been made to the area's levee structures to prevent future flooding.
Absolutely not. The system is wore out. The system needs to be completely repaired, completely fixed, and the rivers need to be dredged out so that the river is not higher than the farmland on the inside where it's not supposed to flood.
Still, both Stensel and Adams are excited about the community's business growth and prospects for a post-flood future.
I think it's fantastic. I've lived here my whole life. I knew how Hamburg was before the flood. I knew how energetic the people in this community are and how they want to build back and how they want to prosper and make everything great. I think it's just fantastic of the job that they have done to bring back in new businesses and bring back the old businesses, some of them that were here.
We're excited about the prognosis. I mean, we can see new things coming our way, and we're still convenient to the interstate and to the railroads, and that's a big plus that adds to the capability of our current businesses.
In part 3, we'll look back at how the community rallied around the school district and how the school district helped the community rebound from the flooding 5 years ago. For KMA News, I'm Mike Peterson.